We'll publish a new geocache next on Discover Geocaching. So you found 1,000 or 100 or even 20 geocaches and you want to hide your own. We're going to show you how to get your own cache published. But you have to remember, you can only do this from the website and you cannot do it from the app. We'll start off by going to the geocaching.com homepage and making sure you're logged in. You'll see your geocaching name right here. Then we're going to go over to Play, Hide a Cache, or Hide a Geocache. All right, this is kind of a welcome screen when you get to this particular area, and it tells you right here how to hide a cache. First, find geocaches to get inspired, then read the guidelines, and then take the hider quiz. Today, if you come down here to hiding guidelines, you can read all, and I suggest that you read all of this, and this is just telling you how close the caches have to be to each other. Do this, but don't do that. There's a lot of good reading in here, and it will only take you a few minutes, but I think it'll be well worth it. Tells you about choosing your container, the geocaching page, the listing for your cache that you're making it family friendly. So a lot of good information. Let's go back to the previous screen and we'll click on Hide a Cache. If you're not sure where you're going to put your geocache, you can come in here and search by address, city, or zip code, and then click search. You can use the map. You can see the map moves. So these circles represent each cache and its 528-foot radius. Well, I already know where I'm going to put my cache, so I'm going to click Continue. This is where you select what type of cache it is, whether it's a traditional, mystery, or puzzle cache, earth cache, letterbox hybrid, where I go cache, multi-cache. So I'm going to click on traditional cache because mine is a traditional, and I'm going to type in the exact coordinates. So when you type in your coordinates, you want to make double sure, maybe even triple sure, that you have the right ones in there, because it'll save you a lot of time later on. If you put the wrong ones in there and they're too close to another cache, it may not come naturally to think that, oh, I typed in the coordinates wrong. You'd probably just go out and move your cache somewhere else. So just make sure you put in the correct coordinates. And I always just right now I'm holding my GPS up to the screen and making sure that I have typed in the correct coordinates that I've taken from my GPS receiver. And my coordinates are good, so I will click Confirm Coordinates. And it puts a traditional icon in the spot where I want it to be. Let's go down to the bottom of the page and click Continue. This area you can add additional waypoints, you can add the trailhead, add a reference point. I didn't think about it, but there is a trailhead that I can use as a reference point for this. So I will go out with my GPS receiver and get those coordinates, and then later on I can come over here and I can add the trailhead waypoint later. Right now I'll just click Continue. And this is where you name your geocache. And I am going to name mine after a friend who's having a birthday. Now, let's say a couple of you went out and two cachers went out there and hid the cache together. Well, right here, you could come over here and you could add somebody else's name as well. But the thing is only one person who will own the cache. The person, whatever account you use to create the cache, that's where all the stats will go for the cache. But the place by can be anything you want. So I will just do this. Date placed. You can click on this and figure out what day you want to use. Mine's the United States and Texas. This is where you type in the description or the details for the geocache. So let me go ahead and type a little bit into here. You can type in why you hid the cache, or just the description of your cache, or anything that you want to put in here. This is where that goes. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a little bit more. And click in the hint box and type in what your hint is going to be. And then here is something that if you don't know about this right here, who can see this cache? Everyone can see the cache, or premium only? I've done a video before on how to make a cache that you've first of all selected as everyone can find, and then turning it into a premium only. It's very easy to do this after the fact. So don't get caught up on this, because it's really easy to change later on. And I'm going to make it available to everyone. Then you'll just click on I have read and agreed to the terms of use agreement and the geocache hiding guidelines. So very important there that you do that. And please, like I said before, please read the geocaching hiding guidelines. I'll click continue. This is where you determine the size, the difficulty and terrain, or any attributes that pertain to your cache. So mine is a micro because I hit a bison tube. And I am going to call this one a difficulty of 2. So I'll just take the slider and move it over to 2. And the terrain is a little hard to get to, so I'm going to put it as a 2. It is only about 200 feet off the trail, but you do have to cross a dry creek. So this is where you can come in and tell it what attributes you want to use. So it's definitely dog friendly. Not really available 24/7 because this would be difficult to find. So I'll just select some of these attributes. And I selected a few attributes, and we'll click Save and Preview. It's important to notice that our cache has not been submitted yet, and it tells you right here. Once your geocache is in place and all the details have been entered, click Submit for review. So right now, it's just sitting, it just created a web page for you, and for you to take a look. This is what it's going to look like. And this is for you to make sure that everything is good. Your description's right, and make sure the words are all spelled correctly. Your hint is here. You can click there, and it tells us what the hint is. And here's in this corner here are the attributes I chose for this particular cache. And this gives you an overall map view of where the cache is. If you found something wrong with what you just did, it's easy to fix. You just come into Edit Cache, and here are all those things we just put in. You can change your attributes, you can change your description, and you can change the hint, your rating and size, the type. This is the time now to change the type because it hasn't been submitted for review. But everything is good, so I'm just going to come to the bottom and I'm going to click Cancel, and then it'll come back to here, and I'm going to submit for review. Do this when you are ready for the cache reviewer to publish the cache or to schedule publishing the cache if it's going to be in the future. And I will put in please review make sure in your reviewer notes that you thank the reviewer. It's a volunteer position. If it wouldn't be for them, no caches would get ever published. So it's because of them we have something to go and find. Not just because the hiders hide it, but because the reviewers review them and publish them. So I always say thank you for doing what they do for the caching community or something like that. All right, and we'll click for review. And at the top, you'll notice it says your cache has been submitted for review. To edit your cache, you will need to cancel your submission first. So that means it's already been sent to the reviewer. They will want to take a look at it with all the information you have now. If you change something now, then they're not reviewing the most current one. So what you'll have to do is cancel this submission and then edit it and then resubmit it. I'm making it sounding more confusing than it is. So you'll see right here, you'll get a log that says you submitted for review, post a reviewer note, but these two logs will go away when the cache is published. So only you will see these particular logs. And that's it. It's all ready for the reviewer to review and then publish, and as soon as they do, people can go out and go find your cool cache. Well, I hope you were able to follow those step-by-step instructions on how to submit a cache and get it published. I kind of made it sound like it was optional, but really reading those guidelines is mandatory. You should really do it. Go out there, hide some caches, and remember to discover geocaching.